United? What is it?
Hannah,
Everton Wanderers?
Hannah, where in the country will you find the football team Everton?
I've been to the town of Everton. It's next to Liverpool, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know what their football is called.
Who would you be playing on Derby Day?
Who will they be playing?
On Derby Day.
Liverpool.
Oh, okay, I genuinely thought she might say Derby. I just thought.
No, I know what a derby is. I know what a derby is. That's not strict. That's not just.
Yeah, it's a horse race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So, when are they officially announcing you as Everton boss then, Hannah?
In about 5 minutes. I've got to pop off actually. Just do that. If that's
Peter
all right.
Popoff.
Got to be Peter Popoff.
Peter Popoff.
I've got to Peter Popoff.
I would have
started already.
It was a rigorous application process.
I would have quite happily had Ancelotti at Wolves.
Well, it's not happening, is it?
It's not now.
It's aggressively shouting at you. It's not going to happen.
Have we announced?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Could someone
No,
check?
we're still waiting for that.
We're working. Yeah, we're going live.
Oh, you are live. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Hello, everyone. If there's anyone here.
Oh yeah, I've just got the notification.
There is. Yep.
Is Texas here yet?
No.
No, but Jonty's here. Hi, Jonty.
Hi,
Jonty.
Oh, hello, John T.
You are. I thought it said you are woking. Then right, I just couldn't read.
We're not woking, but we are working.
I did a voiceover earlier this week or something, and they came back and went, "Hello, you appear to have forgotten how to say the following words."
What were the words?
It's congratulations and commercials. I listened back and went commercials and congratulations.
It's really weird how you don't even hear yourself saying the wrong word, but it like comes out really weird. I do that all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Pixie.
Hi, Rachel.
Look at Pixie. Look at her little feet.
They're called Peach.
She's waiting for you to scratch her belly. Scratch her belly.
Scratch it.
She's lifting up her arms so I can properly get good access.
At least yours lifts up its front arms. Mine lifts up his rear leg. Like, go on.
Push my scrot. Go on.
Get right in there. Go on.
It's been a long lockdown for everyone. Go on.
You can't go anywhere near Tormund's belly.
She's asked me gently to stop, so I'm going to. I'll come back to that in a minute.
How has she asked you gently to stop?
She put her back paw on my hand and just pushed me away.
The classic sign of that's enough now.
I did that with all my relationships.
So you know how they say that dogs end up looking like their owners and their owners end up looking like the dogs.
Yeah.
When you've got a cat, do you end up enjoying the same sort of contact that your cat has? So
I hope not.
Do you
not socialising with anyone and a general distaste for humanity?
And Hannah's likes murder.
Yeah.
So. Ripley,
do you like having your belly tickled?
Ripley is more mine.
Yeah, and the cat really doesn't.
Yeah, Ripley is more mine. This is definitely more Torrance's. But
you asked me a direct question, Stephanie, and I replied. This goes well.
I'm so glad I'm here. Oh god!
John,
I tell you what.
Okay.
I tell you what this is.
It was just the nonchalant way in which you went. Of course I do. No.
Yes. Who doesn't?
Me?
Obviously you. Yeah, I do that.
I'm realising more and more that this moment pre-podcast is like taking the wrong turn on the way to Narnia.
Oh, it's
like the dark universe, Narnia.
Rather than leaving the cupboard, just end up deeper and deeper inside it.
Further into the wardrobe.
We should have called the show that, shouldn't we? The Wrong Turn to Narnia.
It is. Instead of going to Narnia, you're just stuck in a coat hanger. Like, it's fine.
Remember Stranger Things? Remember Stranger Things?
Right.
Do you remember Stranger Things when they used to go get you upside down?
Say that again. You say that again, Mikey. What?
Remember Stranger Things when they used to talk about the upside down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Upside Down.
I haven't watched it yet.
I mean,
spoiler.
that's fine because I'm only on episode 2 of Game of Thrones, so we're both very behind the
Oh,
zeitgeist.
episode
However-
2. I thought you hadn't. I thought you were only on episode 1. That's an
Well,
improvement.
I've technically watched episode 1 now, but I did fall asleep through it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of setup in Game of Thrones. Like, there's a lot of
first
setup.
season is just boobies, death and boobies, death and boobies.
Yeah, it's like, quick, we've got some exposition. That's a bit boring. Let's put some boobs there while they're doing it.
I've never thought of doing that in my plays. Every time you have a bit of exposition.
If you look at Game of Thrones, it's every time there's plot points in the first 2 seasons, there are boobs on screen at the same time. They'll be walking through the brothel going, oh, by the way, we're going to redacted, because Adam hasn't seen it. But...
Look, by the time I get to any of the juicy bits, not the boobs, I'll have forgotten.
Well, you know that Sean Bean dies, right? So when they're like, oh,
I didn't know that because he doesn't die in all of his films. He doesn't. He doesn't die in like most of his films.
He does die in most of his films.
If Danny Trejo turned up, I would immediately assume he died.
Oh, Danny Trejo also died.
Name me a film that Sean Bean doesn't die in.
You see, that's a very difficult question to answer.
National Treasure doesn't die in National Treasure. Gets arrested but doesn't die. But what
Oh,
happens in prison?
Have you seen Equilibrium when he gets shot in the face through a book? What a great death!
Ooh, what a death!
What a death!
What a death!
He doesn't die in the PG in the PG Tips advert, Yorkshire Tea advert. Sorry, doesn't die there.
Yeah, but that's not a film, is it?
They were shot on film.
So was the video to
Talking
White
about
Christmas.
getting
Not White Christmas. Last Christmas. That was it.
Go, Maggie.
Talking about getting shot through things, in a student production of Hamlet, I was shot through Lego.
That's cool.
Through it.
I like it.
And yeah, so I was Polonius, and you know, Hamlet, like, his place is stabbed behind the arras.
Yeah. Oh, he's hiding behind it. Yeah.
Wardrobe. So because like the production was like had all Lego in it, and then so they made the arras out of Lego, and then when the gunshot went off, there would be a piece of string I would pull as I was dying, so I made it look like the bullet had hit me, and like there was Lego all over the place.
That's
It was
cool.
great.
That needs to be Sean Bean's
Just
next film.
imagine.
Yeah.
Shot in the face through Lego.
Actually, just to tidy that story up, set designed by Tom Meadowcroft of Point of Football fame.
Ah,
See,
It's all linked.
all links together. Mikey, I find it amazing. I find it amazing that when me and you were talking earlier, your Wi-Fi was perfect. Now it's juddery as fuck.
It's like you're in a goldfish bowl.
You've paused now, Mike.
Well, we've got
Mike, is the microwave
my
on?
back.
No.
No.
No, I tell you why. I tell you why it's not. I tell you why it's not on, because they're all having Chinese. But like the good podcaster I am, like the good podcaster I am, I sacrificed myself and had an omelette.
Man, I tell you what,
Not
I
the
would.
same.
I am telling you lot now, I would not sacrifice a Chinese for you lot.
No, I've been making any old excuse not to come.
You know what I
Oh
mean?
no.
Next time you have an emergency at work, I'm going to check the local Chinese menus around here to see if it's deal day.
Every day.
Right, shall
Every
we,
day it's deal.
If you dream hard enough.
shall we start?
Shall we?
Shall we start?
With a paw.
Shall we start?
Don't.
Yeah, sure.
That's
Yeah,
a really
that's
good
very
sign,
good.
that is.
Mhm.
It means they're completely safe in your household.
I have drawn the order.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
what
did it
is-
earlier. Dave went for a slash. Sorry. We'll keep it classy.
Yeah.
Dave dropped the kids off at the pool,
Come
and
on.
we did it. He doesn't know the order, so this is going to be interesting because I've also forgotten the order.
Write it down.
I don't remember. So first up tonight is it's Dave.
Ooh.
What's your story about, Dave?
I've done a few stories about gigs and everything going to shit, and that being a metaphor for the shitness of life. It's another gig story, folks. It's another gig story.
Is it about ghosts?
It's about ghosts.
Is it about ghosts?
Is it
So
about ghosts?
it's not a story. It's not a ghost story.
It's not a ghost story.
Okay.
Who's after me then, Adam?
Next, Steph Lockhart.
Yay!
Hey! What's yours? Oh, go on, Adam.
Yeah, no, I insist on you doing it now.
Oh.
I insist.
What's your story about, Steph?
My story is about how, before the age of 9 years old, I was the worst human being on the planet.
You know what? People who know you refuse to believe that anything changed at 9.
I don't know. Just at 9, I honed my craft and then went out into the world.
People didn't know now.
Oh, wonderful.
If anything, this is my origin story.
No.
This is Joker.
No, Joker's got nothing on me.
This is
Who's after Steph?
Me.
Yay!
Yeah.
What's your story about, Adam?
It is a short biography of Howie the cat, who was my first
Oh,
kitten.
yay! Howie!
Of Howie the cat.
Howie, yeah, including never before shared on the internet his full name.
Ooh.
Intrigue.
I'll tell you what, there's a subreddit going wild at the minute. Who's after you, Adam?
What, the Adam doesn't know this page exists? Go
That's
number
the
4.
one.
Number 4 is Hannah.
Me.
Hannah. What's your story about Hannah?
Then?
What?
Yay.
No, he said Hannah. He definitely said Hannah.
It just sounded like Eleanor. I was like,
I
whoa.
went, Hannah.
Who is this?
Well, can I recommend that next time you go in the shower, you wash your ears out?
Don't judge everybody around by your own disgusting standards, Dave.
Yeah.
They're the only standards I've got, Steph.
Gross.
Hannah, what's your story about?
I'm going to talk a bit about the time when I worked as a costumed character, if you will, at Tamworth Castle.
Was anyone else hoping she was going to say costume superhero?
Costumed superhero. I mean, if you're big into the
Dave.
Civil War, then
No,
yeah,
Dave.
I was a superhero.
At which castle?
No, Dave,
Tamworth.
because Hannah Platts is always a costume superhero.
Oh,
Oh.
thanks, Mike.
That means you're pretending to be someone all the time. That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's absolutely 100% correct.
Is
As you
that
were.
a backhanded compliment, really? Mike's
Yeah.
just called you fake.
Yeah, but you don't know whether this is. Wait, is this my secret identity or is this my? I don't know.
See, I'm just add layers.
Mikey!
You've just proved that I'm a terrible person because I've just shit stirred between the two of you.
And finally,
Yeah,
It would be Mikey. What's
Dave
your,
again?
what's your story about Mike?
so there are stories about me about my school days not being being extra on a stage. However, this is not that story. We're going there again.
Nice.
Yeah!
We're all gonna look at it. Yeah.
I reckon if this show goes for 5 years, we still won't have got to the end of your stories of being an extra on stage at school.
Hang on, were you being extra on stage at school, or were you being an extra?
No, being extra.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Being
I suppose we better start this mofo then, hadn't we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go on then, Adam.
do
'Cause
it.
I'm going first.
The first story of the evening is
Why aren't you
presented
doing it
in
properly?
stereoscope.
Do it properly.
Do it properly.
Boo, boo, boo,
Sorry,
boo,
I've been
boo.
Do the
I've been
voice.
watching a lot of 40s films.
I've just tried to do that effect and then realised it's a mono mic.
Yeah, I'm really hoping like if this was an Ealing comedy, this is the greatest cast. It's Dave Pitt, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
I got a gig in that there Leeds.
Ooh, the London of the North.
London of the North.
That's what they call it.
No one's ever called it that.
Yes, they have.
No. I've done a lot of stories about gigs where they've been shit and they're a metaphor for my life, right? So, Leeds.
But this one wasn't because Alan Bennett was there.
I've got a gig. I've got a gig in Leeds with one Emma Pursehouse. Okay? Right. Poet laureate of Wolverhampton. She's a proper poet laureate, not me, who's like poet laureate of the kitchen department.
Mosley.
She's a proper poet laureate. Can I also point out that today she drew a face on her own knee and put it on Twitter, and it was hilarious.
Well, I'll have to look that up.
Hashtag art.
We'll look that up while you keep talking.
Hashtag art. So, yes, we've got this gig in Leeds, and one of the problems is my wife needs the car, so I can't drive to Leeds. Not that I'd be happy to drive all the way there and back anyway.
Is it, Dave, is it a poetry or comedy gig?
It is a poetry gig.
I was just getting it in my mind,
Yeah.
which was which, yeah.
So...
I'm painting a picture.
Have you just seen the picture?
That's a good face. Yeah. Good.
We can put that on our socials, can't we?
Looks like
on
someone
the
I
Discord.
know.
Oh, John
Yeah, put it in the
T.
Discord.
John T. has just put it in the chat.
Oh, well done, John T.
Go, John
so
T.
good for us.
And follow Emma Pursehouse because she's amazing.
It's a face.
So
It's got a hat on. Anyway, as you were.
we've got to get to Leeds, and for anyone who doesn't know, trying to get some.
Every
go on.
face needs a hat. Every face needs a hat.
I agree.
Always will do.
I'm going to pretend that was funny.
Right, we've got to get to Leeds. Anyone who knows what the UK train system is like will know full well that to get from Wolverhampton to Leeds is going to cost me somewhere in the region of £356,000, right? Off peak, right? So, I decide to try and find an alternative form of transport, and I find the Megabus. The Megabus...
I have opinions already.
The Megabus, it goes from Birmingham, so we've got to get to Birmingham first, which is a bit of a downer. But it takes us to Birmingham and Leeds and back again for £22 for both of us.
Whoa, £11 each.
It's clearly a drug front for something else, isn't it?
So,
I mean, I imagine you got £11 worth of service from them.
we are going up on the Thursday. We are staying at a random person's house.
Nice.
Did you know the person, or did you just
Nope.
accost them?
Nope. And then
Who were they?
they were to do with the people who'd organised the gig. They were one
Okay,
of the.
so you haven't just knocked on
you
doors.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like,
just.
Can we stay with you, please, sir? We're not from round here.
No,
We've
Tiny
been to
Towns.
Leeds.
We're
They
from.
told us it was the London of the North, and now we're scared and cold.
You hadn't just.
We're from Wolverhampton, the Telford of the East.
Okay, many things wrong with that. Many things, and let's break it down individually. Since when has Wolverhampton been in the east?
Compared to Telford, it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, but if I went, Wolverhampton, the east, I'd be either thinking of Norwich or insane.
In my head, it's like goes Birmingham, Wolverhampton, an empty space, Wales.
That's Telford. That's what
That's
that is.
That's
Yep.
Telford.
What's in
Telford.
the empty space? Is that
Telford.
where Telford
That's
is?
where Telford is.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That's how I described when I first went to uni. Oh, just leave Wolverhampton and head towards prettiness, and the last bit of ugly, that's Telford.
On the cusp.
That's exactly right. Anyway, I explained to Pursehouse, I've got us a Megabuzz. I've got no idea what the Megabuzz is going to be like. It's cost us.
I think you've got some idea.
£11 return each. This is. I'm not expecting a lot. Yeah. I'll be honest, but we're gonna get there, right? Okay. So we get to Birmingham. We stock up on maize-based snacks, and you know those little mini bites of flapjack and stuff. You know, because you've got to. Right. And the coach turns up. And it's clean and big. And we get on, and the people who do organise the gig said the coach will stop at a place called Woolly Edge. So I went up to the coach driver, and I'm like, I know we're going to Leeds, but can you do a stop at a place called Woolly Edge? And she said, I wasn't going to stop there, but I'll stop there for you. I'll drop you off.
Oh.
Because it's called Woolly Edge.
It sounds like a northern colloquial term for the snail trail.
Texas is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Yay! Hi, Texas.
Oh, we've got to now explain all of Leeds.
Now you'll get it.
Yeah. It's on the YouTubes. It'll be on the YouTubes tomorrow. Anyway, we get on this Megabuzz.
Can we just say Sean Bean? That's Leeds, right?
Sean Bean, he's Leeds, yeah.
He is
well,
Leeds.
Is that Wayne?
He's from Sheffield,
He's definitely Sheffield, but sure.
He's got a tattoo of Sheffield.
Close enough.
Says the two people in this room where if we were accused of being brubbies, we'd kick off.
100%.
Yeah.
It could be worse. Like I'll call you Yam Yams, and then you.
I genuinely don't care about that. When people go, "Oh, are you from Birmingham?" You go, "No, I'm from Wolverhampton," and then they go, "Oh, where's Wolverhampton?" You have to go.
By Birmingham.
It's the only place people know.
I always say, you know the difference between Birmingham and Wolverhampton and Black Country, because people from Wolverhampton and Black Country go, all right, I'm doing it, AI. And people in Birmingham say, all right, I'll take credit for it.
I don't call it a Wolverhampton screwdriver, it's a Birmingham screwdriver with a hammer. So
actually, we call a hammer a Bilston fine adjuster.
I mean, that's 100% what I'm calling my penis from now on.
Come on.
Anyway, we get on the Megabuzz. We haven't even started the fucking story yet.
Oh, he's not even on the fucking bus
I'm not even on the bus yet.
If this ends up being a story that ends with "and then I got off the bus," I'm going to be so fucking angry with you.
We get on the Megabuzz, expecting hell, right? It's £11 return to Leeds.
Yeah.
Right? It is immaculate. It's absolutely, it's better than my fucking house, right? you get,
how is it nice?
Right, it had a toilet which was clean.
What? Hang on.
Does your house not have one?
Not even a chemical toilet.
Not
your
even.
House has...
The seats were big and comfortable. Really? It was air conditioned. It was fucking glorious. Like, I was more comfortable on that than I'd have been on the train.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being funny, but if I was Fee now, sat downstairs listening to this, I'd be like, "You can do that. pack your shit, David Pitt. You are slagging off this household. Go and live in a cardboard box.
It's not as good as the Megabuzz.
Yeah, I'll go and live on a Megabuzz then.
Go and live on the Megabuzz if you love it that much.
Marry the Megabuzz if it's that bloody great.
Rhyming couplets, you know.
I didn't mean to, but as it came out, I heard myself and went, "Oh, well done there."
So we get on this Megabuzz, right?
Jesus.
Right, you've got on the bus, okay?
Get on the bus, Dave.
Right.
It's like 3.5 hours to Leeds, which is comparable to the train.
Yeah, because you have to change, don't you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But buzz straight there. Get to Woolly Edge. We get to Woolly Edge. They pull in. We're like, this is fucking glorious. What's going to go wrong? You know, because something's going to go wrong.
Yeah, it has to.
We get off at Woolly Edge, which turns out to be a motorway service station.
Yeah.
With a nice name, right? And we are met by the promoter of the night, who's a guy called Jimi Hendrix. That's not his real name, that's his stage name.
I was going to say.
Can I say, this is starting to sound a little bit too much like the bit in Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny.
I haven't seen it.
Stop off of the service couple. That guy gives them the map to break into the Museum of Rock and Roll, in the toilet. It's a bit shady.
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
You should watch it. It's terrible and nearly destroyed their careers.
I didn't.
It nearly bankrupted the pair of them.
Yeah, it's a great film, though.
I haven't seen it. So you get to Woolly Edge, and an Andrex puppy meets you.
Yeah. Jimi Hendrix meets us. Jimi Hendrix is the second...
Did he look like a golden retriever?
No. He's the second most northern man who has ever lived.
Who was number one?
The number one was the darts commentator Sid Waddell.
Yep.
For anyone who doesn't know, Sid Waddell did the greatest piece of commentary ever by any human being ever, and he will never be beaten. He had a degree in classics from Cambridge University, and he was the most northern man you've ever met. And he said, darts commentary, Alexander of Macedonia was 32 when he cried saltwater tears for there were no more worlds to conquer. Eric Bristow is 28.
That's beautiful.
That is the most beautiful piece of commentary anyone will ever do, ever.
Yeah, I agree.
It's wonderful.
It's perfect.
Jimi Hendrix is just underneath Sid Waddell.
For how northern he is.
For how northern and how awesome he is.
Right.
He takes us to this ruined castle for a coffee, because there's a coffee shop there. And it's like, this is
He just is like, meet me at this random service station,
right?
And I'll take you to a castle and we'll have a coffee.
Yeah.
Was there a point where you felt like you were going to get abducted and murdered?
Yeah, so something's going to go wrong. It's
have you ever met him before?
Yes.
Right, okay, he's not just a stranger.
I should also point out that me and Emma are in this poetry collective with a guy called Steve. Steve is the responsible adult. So Steve's not with us, which instantly is putting us on edge as well.
Because we haven't got a grown up with you.
We haven't got a grown up with us, right? So we go to the gig, right? Andrex takes us to the gig. The gig is at a place called the Red Shed, right?
Nice. Rhymes. I like it.
Literally a red shed.
Okay.
It's literally a wooden. Not a small garden shed, but it's a wooden building.
Like a bar.
Painted red. It's a socialist pub. Oh,
nice.
Texans.
You have to explain actually what socialism is, and it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Centre.
It's different to communism.
Yes. We call that a barn here. Yes, it was a communist barn. That's what it was.
Where anyone could use a tractor at any time.
They'd seized it because it was the means of production.
It's all about seizing the means of production.
The reason why it's a communist barn is because barns where you find both hammers and sickles.
Yeah.
So it is.
So you get to the socialist barn.
Yes, so we get to the socialist barn.
They're singing the Internationale, I imagine.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. You walk in the door.
Well,
there's a notice board. I've got a picture of this as well, so we'll put this on the socials.
Okay, nice.
There's a notice board with a big sign up that just says, black background, white lettering, Tories out.
Nice. So you know you're in a safe space.
Right?
Yeah.
Partially obscured by a poster for the Blues Festival that's going. Oh, sorry, say that again, Mike. Say that again, Mike.
I'll have all of my mail diverted there.
Yeah, right.
I'll have all of my mail diverted there.
Yeah, Tories out. They're the Republican Party over here. So yeah, Tories out, and then it's partially obscured by a poster for the Blues Festival they're having on the week after, which I fucking love that stuff. You go in, and it's a proper working men's socialist fucking lefty pub.
Yeah. I bet the drinks are really cheap as well.
Yeah, the drinks are all cheap. They're all in handle glasses, right?
Yeah, there's like that carpet with a pattern on it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this could very well be the best thing we have ever been to ever.
Do they sell cheese and onion cobs?
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Proper pub.
Oh, if
They
you
have.
get a fucking cheese and onion cob on the bar, that is the best night.
They have a
Big
socialist bookshelf.
Nice.
Right? Which has got it's got lots of books on there, but there's about 7 copies of The Raggy Trousered Philanthropist. Because it's a socialist bookshelf, right?
Yeah.
And of course the books are free.
Yeah.
Because socialism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You just distribute them amongst the masses.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
We have this gig. We go into like this back room. It's fucking rammed, right? Just
how many people are we talking?
I mean, there's probably 40, 50-ish, but it's full.
Yeah.
Please tell me your opener was Thatcher was alright, weren't she?
And the way the night works out is you get some people coming up doing open mic poetry, and then they kind of had me and Emma as co-headliners. So what we did was like Emma did a set in the first half and I did a set in the second half, and they also had a musician on. In fact, it might be worthwhile if we can do this. Might be able to do this. The open mics went up. They were really good, which is always a good sign when you do poetry. The open mics are good. My open mics were really good. Perseus went up and fucking smashed it. Like, out the doors. I'm there thinking, something's going to go wrong.
You're always expecting something to go wrong, though, just because you're you.
I feel like you manifest bad things because you're like,
you just point yourself towards
the singer gets up, and Jimmy had already said to us, he went, right, he's brilliant, but he sounds like nothing you've ever heard, right? And it'll freak you out when you first hear him sing.
Okay.
His name was Ichabod Wolf, right? In fact, let me get my phone.
That's a great name.
That's a hell of a good name.
I'm going to say if I could just get it up on Spotify.
I'm disappointed you didn't say Timmy Malik. I thought that was where it was going.
No. They wouldn't have had Timmy Malik, mate. They'd have kicked him out.
Well, he's got a band camp.
He's on Spotify, so ICHABOD Wolf. Right.
Okay.
He gets up and he starts singing.
Oh, he's cute.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
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 Sounds good.
We'll wait for his vocals.
Now I have a 15 seconds.
Have you played it at the wrong speed?
No,
Like,
no.
is this a 33 and you put it?
No. Right? He was fucking amazing. Like, the first time he started singing, someone went, huh? Because he was like, what the fuck? Because he was like surprised. But when you tune your ears in, you're like, oh my God, this is fucking brilliant. Then you start hearing his lyrics, and Pursehouse, she said to him after, she said, "You're like a mix of Leonard Cohen, and oh God, what was his name?
I don't know.
Describe.
Nigel Mansell.
You're like a mix of you're like a mix of Leonard Cohen and Nigel Mansell." That's what she said.
You've got a cool moustache and you like to drive fast.
We're now at the halfway point of the night. The next lot of open mics coming on, and then it's just me, right? And it's been amazing.
And you're like, oh no.
Something's going to go wrong.
There's only one person who can ruin this night now, and it's David Pitt.
And I am really nervous. And the nerves are from, don't fuck this up, Dave, because everyone's done a really good job. You don't want to ruin it for people.
I took that as a challenge.
I get up there and had the fucking gig of my life.
Yeah.
I like a good story.
Yay.
We don't really get the show.
Yeah.
I'm so relieved.
I don't think I've ever been so relieved.
Yeah.
It was absolutely immense. I would genuinely play there tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm being upstage. How can I compete with a cat licking its own arse?
Guidelines we have to follow.
Yeah,
Adam,
Pixie.
Adam.
Terms and conditions.
Adam, it's a swirly chair. Turn it round. Give the cat some privacy.
Yeah, give the poor woman some privacy.
You guys.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned now that she's watching us and going, you know what this needs? Some arsehole licking. That's what's gonna turn this podcast into.
If I turn around, then she won't be able to see me, and then she'll feel lonely.
Okay.
Love you, baby.
Yeah. So we did this gig. Went and stayed at this person's house. It was quite funny because I remember Fee saying, "Where you stopping?" And I went, "Don't know." And Fee's like, "And you going up there?" And I went,
just
"Yeah,
wandering into the north."
And jokingly, I shouldn't have done it really. Jokingly, I says, "Imagine if I get murdered."
Just drop that little thought in there for her to worry about all night.
Had a lovely stay at this person's house. We get back the next morning. They tell us where the bus is. They go, "Get on that bus. You'll take you straight to Leeds bus station," because we're in Wakefield.
Oh yeah.
Jumped on the bus. Did the typical, we're tourists, so where are you going to sit? Top deck at the front.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Obviously.
Depending that you're driving the bus.
Anything else is an abomination. Sorry.
Get to Leeds, get on the megabus, come home, had an absolutely fucking wonderful couple of days. And that's my story. I don't just have shit gigs.
Yay! That's so nice! Yay! Dave,
like
pick
it.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah. The moral of this story is, Dave. The moral of the story is, thoughts are never fact.
Say that again. Your
Thoughts are
internet
never
shit.
fact.
Thoughts are never facts.
Thoughts are never
Yeah.
To be fair, Mikey, every time you tell him to repeat it, you wait just short enough so that you can say it again just as he's talking every single time.
I'm awesome at it, aren't I? So yeah, it was a nice gig.
That's so nice.
That is
Coming
great.
up next, the worst human being on the planet. Steph Loftus!
By her own admission. Yay!
By her own admission.
Yeah. So here is why I am at a very early age. I went, evil superpowers. I shall use them. So this is basically.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, this
was talking to my parents today. We were sat in their back garden, and I was like, I'm really struggling for a story. And my mum went, why don't you tell the story about all the things you did to your granddad? And I went, there's some real insight into why I am the person I am today. So my granddad died before I was 9, which is why I say that before I was 9, I turned into the worst human being on the planet.
Right.
I was not responsible for his death. I just need to put that out there.
Okay, let's just
why I'm the worst person on the planet. My granddad,
not directly responsible.
Not responsible at all. Like, I'm just going to put that out.
Let's just caveat that, okay.
Yes. Disclaimer, I didn't do it. Your Honour. My granddad, when I was little, was my best friend because both my parents worked full time. So my nan and granddad and my nan's brother, who also lived in the house, basically looked after me and my brother through every school holiday. And times when we were sick and mum and dad couldn't get time off, or like teacher training days and all that sort of stuff, I lived at my nan and granddad's. So we get dropped off really early in the morning, and then like we get picked up about 4 or 5 o'clock at night. So, and in that time, I would literally just watch Watership Down, The Animals of Farthing Wood, Magic of the Faraway Tree.
Oh no.
Why?
Oh no!
Why would you? Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Are you just allergic to happiness and good dreams?
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know those films, that's the equivalent to nowadays spending your entire time on Live Leak.
I don't know what that is.
It's a gore site.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's closed down now.
Yeah.
As I have grown up, and I have watched Watership Down as an adult, I have many questions about the morals of my grandparents, and I can't listen to the song Bright Eyes without starting to get convulsions. And all this would happen while my nan was just spoon feeding me corned beef and mashed potato mushed together with red sauce, and that was a staple diet.
Classic.
The reason I have a sugar addiction is because once I'd finished that, my nan would give me a bowl of strawberries and a bowl of sugar and go, what could possibly go wrong?
The British diet.
Oh, there's a question. What is red sauce? Ketchup.
Oh, ketchup.
Tomato ketchup, yeah. So, sorry, we only refer to things by colour here. So red sauce and brown sauce. No one really knows what's in brown sauce. We just accept that it's nice.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery sauce, but nice nonetheless. Goes good in a bacon sandwich. So a
little bit of HP.
My childhood was mainly spent with my nan and granddad. Now, what I realised from a very early age was my granddad was extremely he was a pushover, and I could manipulate him however I wanted to. He would try and so basically if we were playing a board game, he let me win, because if I was sad, he'd get sad and then feel guilty. If he shouted at me for bad behaviour, I'd cry, so he'd apologise. And I went, I can use this.
Oh no.
It's just been a skill I have carried with me to my every Friday as well, we'd go to town, because my granddad would meet his sisters, my great auntie Betty and my great auntie Dorothy. I loved them because we'd get there and they'd go, "You look like you need chips," and I'd be like, "You're bang on right, aren't you, Betty?"
There's only one answer to that question. It's always, you know what? I think I do.
I think you are spot on, Auntie Betty. Well done. So I'd sit there with a plate of chips.
These people sound amazing.
My little brother would be asleep in the pushchair, and then when I finished my chips, they'd go, "You look like you need a £1 coin for that game machine," and I'd be like, "Spot on, Auntie Betty. Well done." So then I go.
They were so prescient. They knew,
It was basically, how can we keep her quiet while we have a conversation?
We know she's abusive. We have to do what she wants.
Keep her quiet so she doesn't make us cry.
So, my nan was constantly putting my granddad on a diet for like all the time because like the man could eat. I've never seen a human being warm up custard in a microwave to the point it has a bubble on top of it, and then we'll take it straight out of the microwave and wallop the lot. Like, and the man had an iron gullet, and I have never been so impressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like taking a piece of the sun and going, oh, nom 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 nom.
I can appreciate the things he's doing here.
So my nan would constantly put him on a diet. Well, when I get my plate of chips, or my nan wasn't looking, he'd steal one. And you know what? Snitches get extra chips. So, Nan, look what Granddad's doing.
Snitches get extra chips. That's not something that's been covered in prison slang, is it?
Honestly,
it should have done. It's a beautiful phrasing.
Get extra chips.
So yeah, so I was, for want of a better phrase,
I'm going to put that in the play.
An absolute
you were an absolute bastard.
Right, and then it got worse. So,
oh God, Steph.
So my
the poor man's just starving and trying to do his best.
Not only is her granddad starving, she's doing all this while her brother's asleep, so she can have his chips as well.
Like if I was like 5, no, if I was 6, my brother was 1. Like there is 5 years difference between me and my brother. Mm-hmm. So like, understandably, he's asleep. I've not like knocked him out for
it's not like...
I'm evil, but I've got standards. Like I will not hurt children. So my nan and granddad had a caravan in Wales, and it was attached to like a club. So we go down virtually every weekend. When I say not that type of club, like
Ministry of Sound.
7-year-old you off your tits on 8th of July.
Butterscotch flavour.
Oh, butterscotch flavour.
To the left.
Bingo.
So it was like it was a family club, and so every weekend virtually we go down to Claret Bay, and we go to the caravan. And Friday night was chippy night.
Nice.
Saturday night we go down the club.
Bruce. Friday night is chippy night.
Friday night is chippy night.
On Radio 2.
Schedule. We did exactly the same thing every weekend that we went down there, and no one ever got bored, and I don't understand why. Like,
can I just ask something there?
Go.
Steph, Friday night was chippy night.
Friday night was chippy night.
To the middle class people in the room, did you, when you were growing up, have a set
fish
meal?
And chips on
No,
Friday.
have a set meal every night.
No.
We had like Sunday dinner, and then Monday was often some sort of.
Monday was normally curry.
Awful.
Monday was curry or a pie. Because
yeah,
it was
like
whatever meat
left over. Yeah, made into something else.
Yeah.
I remember Thursday being cheese and potato pie night.
Ooh.
Oh, I love a cheese and
Love a
potato
good cheese
pie.
and potato pie.
With beans.
Friday's like fish is a thing.
Chippy.
Yeah, normally the chippy. And this was when we went to the caravan. There was a chip shop that was half a chip shop and half a Chinese, and it was beautiful.
Oh
and
yeah.
That's where we used to go.
Why is it the chips from Chinese places are always better? Always.
Yeah, because I think they cook them in the oil's really hot or something. Like there's something about what they cook them in that is like.
It might be the type of oil that they use.
Yeah.
It's just fucking beautiful.
You say that because you haven't been to Majors.
And also, you can get sweet and sour sauce and dunk the chips in them. Okay.
Go on, Mikey.
Also, why is it that like other people's chips always look better than yours?
Yeah, always.
Yes.
100%.
And apparently, the Midlands are the only place that do battered chips.
Battered chip night.
Battered chip night.
Yeah.
Got to have battered chips. That's what I mean. You
and bits. Only
scraps.
Yeah.
10p scraps. Yeah.
My mum always used to, like, when we went to Middleton's, which was the battered chips place, I always used to say, "Can you get me a bag of chips and bits?" And she's like, "I ain't getting your bits." And like I'd asked her to like shovel a bit of dog shit onto it or something.
Come on.
Yeah, at least batter the dog shit first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bits are the best bit. I love it.
I'll go and get me own chips then.
Oh, it's got cat warmth.
Oh.
Excuse me, everyone.
You could get the same thing by putting a bag of chips on there.
Yeah.
Whilst we've
Not the same.
Whilst we've reached a natural pause in the narrative, just as a heads up, somebody in my house started the saxophone.
I can't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
I'm looking forward to it just drifting through occasionally.
No,
and us all going,
hear it.
what?
It's quite loud, so yeah.
I'm just going to go and shut the gate because there's some youths driving their cars around very quickly and I don't want them to come in here. I won't be in a minute.
If it gets distorted, it's not only the internet, it's also the saxophone and brass instruments.
Saxophone's woodwind, mate, but carry on.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Instrument hit there.
I've got a poem about it.
Oh, for God's sake. Has it got a metaphor in it?
Has there been in it?
Might have.
So it's a real poem then? According to you?
According to me. And my rules.
With your rules.
Sorry, Steph.
So,
Fish and chip night?
So Friday was fish and chip night. Saturday we go into Aberystwyth town and walk around the exact same bit of Aberystwyth town for 11 years. And then on the Saturday night we go to the club. Sunday we go to the market and then we go home. So Saturday night we used to go down to Glanimore. And it was like it was so cool. It was like shit Butlins. And like
it's already a low bar.
Shit Butlins.
Shit Butlins.
Back.
So there used to be like they'd do like some games of bingo very early on in the night.
Oh, we've got to explain Butlins.
No, we don't.
No,
we don't.
The Americans.
We haven't the time. It's 8:20. Come on.
Imagine summer camp for adults, but it's awful.
Imagine.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it. You did it.
So they'd have bingo really early on in the night, and then the kids' club would start about 7. It was hosted by an entertainer called Barry Wayne and his DJ, Mr. Jolly, who I never saw smile. And they used to do they do talent shows and they do games. And there was a game with where you had to stand on islands that were made out of torn pieces of carpet, but all the kids were like, I've got to win! Because you've got a certificate.
Got to.
But there was a game.
Can I just say, I always hated those nights because people were always really keen to get the disabled kid involved.
Yeah.
And sometimes the disabled kid just does not want to interact.
Just wanted to sit back and chill.
But entertainers were desperate to go, we're inclusive. Look. It's just sometimes the kid just wants to sit and have a Coke.
Yeah.
Coke and a packet of crisps and life is complete. But so they used to do this game, and they used to do it like once a month. And the game was like treasure hunt. So they go and say, go and bring back a straw. Go and bring back a beer mat. And like the last people, they like kick out like the last few people depending on how many people were playing. Well, the one night they got a little bit brave with their suggestions, and bearing in mind that my mum and dad were there, my brother was probably asleep somewhere because it was past his bedtime, and my nan and granddad were there because my nan and granddad used to come down to the caravan with us all the time. So they went, fetch us a pair of false teeth. So I went, Granddad! And I ran like Usain Bolt to my table. I went, Granddad, give me your teeth. And he went, what? And I was like, give me your teeth. And then I welled up a little bit and he did whatever I wanted. So I went running back to the stage with my granddad's false teeth in a tissue, and like about 4 kids actually succeeded. Everyone else had gone to the table.
So many.
And like genuine, reasonable adults went, no. But my granddad, who knew he couldn't say know to his only granddaughter, went, "Yes, dear child, have whatever you want."
Took the teeth from his own mouth, placed them in your hand.
There's tissue in my hand. We're not monsters. And I ran back to the stage to Barry Wayne because Mama didn't raise a quitter. So...
Clip that, please, John T. Clip that.
So, I think.
Steph.
Oh.
John T has Googled Barry Wayne.
Oh dear.
And then he's come back with, I have terrible news.
He's not died, has
he? He died in 2019.
Pour one out for Bazza. Pour one out for Bazza, man.
Oh! Send me the link, John T, because I need to confirm that it's actually him.
As in DJ Barry Wayne?
No, I don't think he... Has he got like
Bruce
a
Wayne's less successful cousin?
Tributes pour in for popular children's entertainment. Yeah. From the Cumbrian News.
Oh, I need to text my mum and dad.
Oh.
That man was my childhood.
I mean, at least the news story was he died and not has been arrested.
I think the DJ was, to be fair.
Okay.
He died gripping a pair of false teeth.
Sorry, what are these terrifying puppets he has surrounding him in this photo?
I don't know whether it's the same guy. Hang on. I'm gonna have to log on, and then, so while I'm talking, while I'm trying to find out whether it's him, and then by the way, if I suddenly go, it is. So
was it Claret Bay you went to? Holiday Village.
Yeah. Oh no, he's surrounded by very terrible.
This is taking a turn, isn't it? Let's
known as the Pied Piper.
Text me the link, because I can't scroll back to the chat now.
Let's just enjoy Steph going through all the stages of grief. I'll send the link anyway.
Okay, so I genuinely don't think he thought we were going to come back with anything, and then he just claimed us all the winners. But then the 4 people did, and he went, "Oh, I've got to do something with this now." So these 4 children standing there with false teeth in their hand, he placed them into cups, into plastic cups, so we could hold them.
Oh.
And then went, "Right, I'm going to need the owners of the teeth to come up on stage." So obviously, all these granddads were going, "Absolutely not."
So we know now there are stand-up comedians in this room. There are improvisers in this room. We know now that Barry Wayne's winging it.
Oh
yeah,
right. Barry Wayne is in uncharted territory now. This is
Barry's lost
what he did
way, and he's in uncharted waters.
Was unbelievable. Like, as a grown up now, I am like, not only was this incredibly brave, but it was piss your pants funny. So he, none of the men were standing up. They were like, "Absolutely not. It's not happening. Barry, you've took this too far." So Barry Wayne,
you're a loose cannon, Barry.
Barry, you've got a path I can't follow. So...
Margaret, this didn't happen last month.
I'm gonna have to drink my beer through a straw.
They're all trying to pretend, but they can't see. They're like, no, Barry.
So Barry Wayne went, "I know, children, go and fetch your grandparents." Because
they can't say no to the children.
"You were willing to give me your teeth, Grandad, so now we've got to see this through to the end. Come with me, young man."
No.
We all dragged our granddads back up, and Barry Wayne got them all on stage, made them introduce themselves on the microphone, and then made them sing a song that had the most S's I've ever heard. I cannot remember the song off the top of my head, but it had the most S's I've ever heard.
Of Sixpence.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Barry Wayne.
Legend.
You know what? I don't think Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is the Barry Wayne statue? And can we go and see it?
Yeah.
We need to start a change.org to get a Barry Wayne statue in Claret Bay.
Stop.
Is it right next to Tom's? I hope
yeah. Barry Wayne just standing there with a necklace made of false teeth. His prizes.
Well, it got slightly worse that once, like, we'd finished all the singing and humiliation of old men.
Was it Cecilia by some?
It was something that Sue, I don't know, something with
Sue Studio.
So he was like, okay, your teeth are all in the back, go and find them. So obviously they were in unmarked cups, and then these gentlemen were having to go.
I had to work out
so,
it's making me feel sick.
That was one of my most evil acts. But then, well, as I got a bit older, got a bit more brave, didn't I?
More than demanding someone's teeth.
So my granddad's pride and joy was his garden. He.
I'm glad she said garden and not hip.
Grandfather,
that hip. Have a look at this. Look, I love it. Have a look at that. My favourite.
So he loved his garden and would spend large amounts of time in it. Now, my granddad had this beautiful greenhouse that he'd built, and he'd put all of his heart and soul into building. But what I figured out was it locked from the outside.
Steph,
and
no.
So one day when he got his back to me and he was potting some plants, I very slowly backed out of the greenhouse, very quietly shut the door, and as he turned around, I went dink with the latch, and then just stood there, and he was going, Stephanie, let me out. Stephanie, let me out. And I went, no, and walked inside. I walked inside, and I think I left him in there for an hour. No,
an hour?
I was playing no games. What was worse was my nan had shouted him for tea, and obviously went into the outhouse, didn't look outside, and went, John, your tea's ready, and then went back inside, and I sat down, and when asked where my grandfather was, I went and carried on eating my dinner. Now, he was found an hour later and had to have a wee in a plant pot. He shouted at me. I cried. He cried and apologised and said it was okay. And that's why I am the biggest bastard on the planet.
Normally, when someone says something that derogatory about themselves, I'm going to go and defend them. No.
Yeah.
No, you were a prick.
you were an absolute prick. Right, now you say you didn't kill him. Did he die in the greenhouse?
Because no, he didn't die in the greenhouse. He died a few years later.
Go on, Mike. It's just PTSD. Go on, Mike. What are you saying?
I am fully on the side. I'm fully on the side of Grandad John.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's on Steph's side here.
No.
I would have been too afraid of my granddad, I think, to do that.
No, my granddad was came from Welsh farmers, and if you look at all of his sisters, they're all like really like fiery women, and then there's my granddad who was an absolute wimp.
Yeah.
And I also knew he was scared of frogs, so I don't know how they kept like appearing in his slippers. I don't know, I don't know. Just the frogs really liked his slippers, and they needed a home.
I reckon you need to stop talking because I am fast painting a new image of you in my head.
Steph Loftus, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Actually, no, we're not going to applaud her.
Can we do one? Can we do one clap, everyone?
Yeah, one clap. Our very own Rose West.
No. I didn't murder children. I just terrorised my granddad. That doesn't sound better, but it was.
Up next.
Out my inner monster.
Hopefully, this doesn't include some sort of familial murder. So, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Unwin.
Yay!
I didn't murder my granddad.
There's no evidence of that. Right, so yeah, I'm chatting tonight about a brief biography of my kitten Howie.
Howie.
My mum has always wanted a kitten. We got Heidi, and we adopted Heidi. She's 8 years old, absolutely grumpy. Mum wanted something that was a bit more fun. Plus, I was leaving to go to university, and she needed a replacement. That's how she worded it, and I was totally fine with it. So she sent me a friend of hers had a cat, a beautiful ginger cat that had gone off for 3 days and came back pregnant, as cats do.
Yes, yeah.
I reckon that's what, if Tormund had his balls, that's what he'd be doing all the time.
Luckily, I had them removed. Anyway.
And it's made him so much more placid.
Yeah.
You told me it would.
Could you imagine what he'd have been like if he hadn't have had them?
You'd have like half a cow being dragged through your cat.
He would be like twice as big or something. It stops them growing so much because of the lack of testosterone.
Faye used to have a pet mouse, right? Well, she had a couple of pet mice, but one of them was a dominant male, right? And it literally was a mouse with 2 mouse-sized bollocks dragging along behind it. I assume that was one of what Tormund would have been like if you hadn't have had them cut off.
I mean, they were noticeable, and he was only about 6 months old when we had him done. So, like, anyway,
the ginger thing. I swear to God.
Yeah,
the ginger thing.
Yeah.
Milo. What I was about to say.
No, I think that was enough. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So
I used to walk like John Wayne.
So my mum's friend was a cat and gave birth to lots and lots of absolute tiny ginger fluffy jelly beans that baby kittens look like. My mum went, "Do you want to go around and see them, and you can pick one?" And she texted me the number of the local address. She sent me the wrong number.
Oh no!
And so on this rough council estate, I knocked on this door. This big burly guy opened up with 2 legs and crutches. And I went, "You got any kittens here?" And the guy went, "Nah, you've been pranked, mate." I was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, either that or they think I'm a paedophile." I just closed the door and I was like, "Cool, this is fun."
It's starting my day off well.
This is going well.
Sir, have you got any kittens?
Didn't say yes. Come on in.
Little Adam with his beard. I imagine Adam with his little beard.
I was 18. Like,
Sir.
And yes, I did have a beard at birth. I was born with a full beard and a pipe.
Seems legit.
Sir.
So I went and saw these tiny fluffy jelly beans, and I stayed there for far too long, like longer than was socially acceptable, to the point where this family friend asked me and went, "Is he all right? Is he a bit slow?" I'm not.
Because you were just like, kittens.
Yeah, I took fucking hundreds of photos of these tiny kittens. They were so small. They were like,
if he stays any longer, we're charging him rent.
To be fair, when I got Tormund, I ended up having a cup of tea there because I was like, "I live in your kitchen now. I'm never leaving you."
So like, we started off well. I was a paedophile's wet dream. Like, I literally walked to their house. And
you were 18.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, it was. And also, I also realised that using that exact phrase was not ideal.
No, I didn't like any of it. I didn't like it.
And then
I don't like it.
Was around this tiny kitten so much that the owner thought I might have been autistic. So we're starting off well, my relationship with this cat.
Yeah.
He grows up a bit. He's big enough to come home, and I go and collect him, and I hold him the whole way because he's perfect and he's my tiny little baby. He immediately escapes and gets stuck onto the dashboard because twat. Like,
why didn't you take a carrier, Adam?
Because I was the carrier. I was carrying the cat. I am a carrier. By the very definition of the word carrier, that was me. I was carrying, and it was in the present tense at the time. Carrier.
I have had to carry Tormund to the vet before because he hates his carrier so much he tried to kill me.
Jasper hates it as well. I had to get one like a lunchbox. that opens at the top, and then I literally throw him in and close the thing, and then like just wait for him to stop struggling.
The one I've got is a dog carrier because it's so big. He's so big.
Steph, is it a lunchbox?
Like
No.
Go on, Mikey.
I used to be like that, but instead of carriers, with his therapist.
No, I'm not going. No.
See, now I've got visions of Mikey's dad putting Mikey in a crate to take him for his hospital. In the crate, Michael, come on.
Trying to like
to
get him in there now.
No way on earth I'd be able to start with Adam, there's no way on earth I'd be able to get that straight. What you just done there is not only factually incorrect, it's also medically impossible.
I give it a 1 out of 10.
I rescue this. I drag this kitten out from under the moving car dashboard, and she's panting like a dog, which I've never seen a cat do. Clearly a good sign.
That means they're stressed.
I know that now, and I should have learned it at the time using context clues.
Someone does it in the vet. That's why they're always like, we can't really do much else for him because he's panting so hard he might have a heart attack. And I'm like, it's because he wants to kill you all. I'm sorry. Anyway, carry on.
So we got that one home, and me and Howie spent pretty much the entire time of that summer holiday together. I was either working or I was with the kitten. Like
in my mind, it's like a montage, and there's nice music playing, and you're skipping through a meadow.
That Christmas, we took Howie. So by that time, Howie was old enough.
He's so jealous.
Pixie's like, oh,
okay. It's okay.
I'm not your first.
He's so jealous.
You say that Christmas, because Harry was just then starting to go outside. We were like, cool. What we'll do is we'll collar, harness, and we'll take him for a walk. And what happened was we learnt A, Howie doesn't like walking on concrete, and B, Howie dragged me through a muddy field and a hedge, and I lost my paper crown, and I was not happy because it was sat comically in the middle of a huge puddle, just spinning. and then
you were just watching it like, so this is Christmas.
You could see it absorbing the water, and then it just collapsed under its own soggy weight. It was like a perfect Christmas metaphor for the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It just...
Oh no!
God.
So we came to naming Howie, and we hadn't really decided on a name for him until we were like, we'll get to meet him first for a couple of days, then we'll name him. And his name is Howie. His full name is Lord Russell Howie Farquhar, because he had a slight cross-eye. Russell Howard. Lord Farquhar, because my mum decided to name him after the nickname we gave to our choir teacher in secondary school. Music teacher, sorry, in secondary school. This is the person my mum described as once having come to bed eyes, and I went, yes, but you have eyes that say, I want to go to bed and read a book. She's at the final concert big band stage.
I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, at the final concert where we were performing stuff before we went off to uni. I made sure my mum sat on the front row, because I was hosting it and I had plans to make her cry, because I am a good bellend, Steph. You could have learned something.
Making your mum cry a nice thing.
Because it was sentimental niceness, not I was, trapping her father in a greenhouse. And then she was sat behind this man, and he was conducting, and I looked over and I saw her go.
Oh my god!
And he went. And she went a vermilion.
Oh, beautiful.
So Russell Howie Farquhar, Lord Russell Howie Farquhar, shortened to Howie. Lovely cat. Always came in at night, every single day. Trained really well, except The day before we went on holiday to Turkey, he went, no. What time's your flight? 6:30 in the morning. I'm not going in. What? I'm going to be out. I'm going to walk up to the garden, and then I'm going to go, play with me, and bound away down the road. And you're going to chase me, Adam. You are. And the day before you go on holiday, you're going to chase me and take a big tumble down the hill on the road, and you're going to think you broke your knees.
Oh no, you did a big fall.
I did a big fall. I was luckily fine. No. But for the moment where I lost balance, I went, oh, this is going to be a terrible holiday. So he was a cheeky scamp. A cheeky scamp, this prick. His back legs were too long for him. But he wasn't good enough at understanding this, so he would run at a normal speed with all four legs moving at the same pace. Because his back legs were longer, he went faster, so he'd start drifting. I saw him once stare at his own ass as it overtook him. I was like, what is wrong with him? I got like this. When I at the end of that summer, I went to uni, and I didn't care about saying goodbye to my dad. I didn't care about saying goodbye to my mum. But before I left, and I said goodbye to him, put him down, and he went to the window, and he put the paw on the window.
No.
And I put my hand on the other side of the glass.
Oh, no.
And when my parents came back later, he was at the window waiting, and apparently he was at the window waiting for 3 days, going, he'll come back. He'll come back. And when I did come back in Christmas, he went, oh, fuck you.
As is the cat way.
Yeah. Harry was an amazing cat. He enjoyed Christmas because it gave him the easiest access to alcohol.
Nice.
His first Christmas, we got him so drunk he fell over. He was a big fan.
I don't know if that's appropriate.
No,
just the likes of gin and tonic.
He was a big fan of the Bucks Fizz, and if you got a can of Strongbow out, he would go, ooh, and follow it until you put your finger in, and he'd be able to drink off your finger. But any time my dad got a Strongbow, Harry, who normally didn't give a shit, but people would be like, oh, hello, yes, meow, 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 look at me, perfect cat, meow, 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 I have an addiction, and you need to help fuel it. An absolute just the perfect animal, but beautiful creature, and I loved him. I love him dearly. He tried to catch a crow, he put his paw on it, and then didn't know what to do next.
He was like, okay, step one, complete.
So what he did was he shouted very loudly until my mum went, are you all right? And opened the back door. And we looked out, and there was other crows bombing him.
Yeah, they do.
And he went, okay, I'm going to take my paw off this crow, and I'm not looking. Like when you cut someone up driving, blinkers on. I'm not looking. I'm not walking fast because I'm scared. I'm walking fast because is there tuna? Help me!
I forgot I had an appointment actually. I need to go there.
He's chasing a white rabbit with a pot was. Go on, Mikey. What's that?
I'm late.
Yeah. No time to say goodbye. This crows. I'm late. And so beautiful. Every time I went home.
I'm quite pleased there's crows and not corvids.
Yeah.
Good to have variety in the bird states in the podcast.
Yeah, nice to have specificity of my And so every time I'd go home, he'd always wake me up in the morning because he'd miss me and stuff. He'd like to wake you up by batting you on the eyelids at 5:30 and be like, it is either playtime or food time. This went really well until I had Kira over one day and she was hung over as balls and she was woken up by a cat going, no, on her eyes. No, play with me. And she just went, and then it was a beautiful creature. I loved Howie in excessive amounts, and then the prick died because do you know what, his life had been so extra, just so extra. It's only fair that he went out in a way that is fucking annoying. Because not only did he go out in a way that made us all sad, he fucking ruined a fish and chip dinner. I was in the queue for getting fish and chips, and my mum phoned me, and you can't man that situation out because you go, do you want sort of figure? I want sort of figure. I want you to bring my cat back. Like he'd either they'd like a neighbour had found him in his garden. He'd probably been hit by a car and made it there because he knew it was safe, and then just like passed away happily. Lovely, good prick. Like absolute bad end. Loathe him for it. What a bastard. And I came
when you found him in the garden. Was he locked in a greenhouse? Because if he was, I think I know who did it.
The culprit strikes again.
So yeah, my mum phoned me in tears. And this has happened. Goodbye. Like, that's how our.
Oh God, and
it's pretty much how our family does emotions.
Are you in the queue at the chip shop? We'll deal with this.
Yeah, I was. I'll deal with this later. I came back because I was having an evening here with Hannah. Me and Kira were staying at, like, we're chilling here at like a Monday club, as we used to call it. Get fish and chips, chill out, drunk. Monday club, lovely, because that's how you should start a week, drunk. And they opened the door, and I just went, oh, "Fucking cat's dead."
Oh.
But yeah, it was lovely. It was like November, and for Christmas, my mum got the family a little like a wood carving of Howie to put on the tree. And that's the story of a prick. A ginger prick, absolute bellend,
and his cat.
And his cat.
I'll set them up.
Do you ever sit and think about when your cats are going to die, or is it just me?
No, I can't let myself think about it.
Like, in the vet, there's like a candle that they light if someone's saying goodbye to an animal. And every time I see it, like, it's never lit. But then I go home and go, there's going to come a day when that candle gets lit for me.
Oh, God.
And then I cry all the way home.
Yeah.
I can't let myself think about it.
Yeah.
It's too much.
But the being woken up with being bat in the face is, yeah.
But in the mouth, yeah.
Oh, I get a very slight, like, on
the little nudge, yeah.
Just
someone's not that subtle. He's just like, ugh.
Hey. And obviously that never works, and they get boof off the forehead, and I'm like, oh, I'm up.
Is it just one of your cats that wakes you up, or both? Do they take it in turns? Do they gang up on you?
It's only Jasper, because Milo's not allowed on the bed. That's not a rule I've instigated. That's a rule Jasper's instigated.
Some boundaries.
My place.
So Milo sleeps on a throw underneath the bed because he is the pauper, and that's where he remains. Yeah.
Bless him.
And Jasper sleeps on the pillow next to me.
So if Jasper goes first,
Don't
do you
say that.
then think that Milo's going to take... Is it like the top bunk in a prison cell?
You get to inherit it.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. Okay? Yeah.
I mean, I've had a really rough day. I've just found out my childhood entertainers died. Like,
yeah, Barry Wayne's dead, Dave. Let's not ladle anything else.
I'm feeling to think about my cats dying as well.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready.
Adam Unwin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
I will make sure that a photo of Howie is shared.
Yes, please.
Oh.
How are you, the lad? Get it.
Hannah Platts.
Hi.
Hannah Platts.
Hello.
Apparently, you were a costume superhero in Tamworth.
Right, let's get all thoughts of superheroes out of our head now, because there was nothing heroic about the whole thing. I thought I would tell you about some times when I worked. I can't remember how old I was. I think I was about 17 or 18. And I worked for a few evenings at Tamworth Castle, and some daytimes actually. But they it was like so in the Civil War there was a siege, I think, at Tamworth or something like that. So it was a Civil War themed thing. They were big on like, let's big up our links with important Civil War people. So they had us hanging around being Civil War people, and so
I'm a Civil War person.
But
I was in a Civil War, you know.
I was in a Civil War. So we're talking mid 17th century, in case anyone's like history timeline is.
There was a siege of Tamworth in 873.
It's not that one. That's a Viking one.
That's Danelaw.
That was when the great heathen army came down, I think, with Ivar the Boneless.
The siege of Tamworth just sounds like two people arguing over a frozen turkey.
Well, it would be. Yeah, I don't know how accurate it was, but that's how they'd set it up. Like, the castle's under siege, and the people in the castle are getting ready to prepare for a battle. Ooh, so. I play a variety of stupid instruments, so they got me in the Great Hall.
What stupid instruments do we think Hannah can play? I'm definitely going for the hurdy-gurdy.
I fucking wish! I want one.
Oh, my money is on the balalaika.
No, I wish I had one.
What's the little guitar?
A lute? No.
That's the one.
Yeah. No. Haven't got a lute.
I want you to play me green sleeves.
Yeah, I wish I could. I will one day. I will. No, I've got a variety of. I've played a theremin.
Fucking wish I could play the theremin.
Yeah, my friend's got one. It's really good. No, I've got a variety of like weird wind instruments. So I've got like
piccolo.
Various like no, not piccolo. I've got like various different recorders of different keys and sizes. I've got a penny whistle. Play the penny whistle.
The kazoo.
Yeah. The kazoo, yes.
The vuvuzela.
The fife. I've got a fife. I play the fife. I've got.
Sorry. I play all sorts of weird instruments like the recorder.
No, I haven't finished listing them. I've got my voyanka, which is a Bulgarian wind instrument.
Can you play Paul McCartney's Pipes of Peace?
No, but I do have panpipes.
Can you hold two of them and play them with your nostrils?
I haven't tried, but I'm going to.
You should.
Yeah.
Can you play the viola?
No. The thing is, I don't have much money, right? So I can't afford fancy weird instruments. I've just got weird.
The ocarina.
Yes, I've got an ocarina. Yeah. I played the ocarina. Yeah, I haven't finished listing them.
We're guessing.
I've got my
variations of recorders.
I've got my Swedish bagpipes.
Just imagine, Hannah, before you got that job.
Yeah.
A visitor at Tamworth Castle put, this is great, but what it needs is someone dressed up as Batman playing the recorder.
Yeah. And that's
everything needs that. I can't think of a location that wouldn't be improved by that.
I've got a baran as well. I played my baran quite a bit, like the drum, like Irish drum.
Where you do that?
Yeah, I love that. I love my baran, but I can only play it if I go into a kind of like trance state. Yeah. If you think about what you're playing, you cannot play that fucking thing. You can only do it if you just let it happen. The second you think, what am I playing? You're like, oh no.
What about the cajon?
I don't have a cajon.
Is that the one you sit on?
Yeah, because all the best instruments sit on.
Yeah. What I really want is a Carnix, which is this.
An issue with the cajon?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, my issue, before anyone says, my issue is isn't the fact that I can't sit on it, but the fact that the cajon is just basically one of those sort of wooden blocks used for staging it.
It feels like that.
Yeah, it's basically a Brechtian stage set.
Yeah.
The sort of blocks that have like on one side ridged carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Verfrumsteffekt. Yeah. So I got a job dressing up, and the thing is, if in all of these things where it's like a historical thing, if you're a woman, it's fucking boring, right? Because you don't get to do anything, because you just have to kind of be like, well, I've got my frock on, and they all go over there and like fight each other. So sometimes I would dress up like a guy just so that I could actually do something, right? But this time I was dressed like a woman. So I was playing my recorder and my baran. I had to learn all of these like 17th century songs, and people were like dancing. So it was like they were dancing around and I was playing. But they were bringing people around in groups, obviously. So every time a new group came in, we sort of had to like keep going. So that was tiring. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but my mouth was the driest it's ever been. Because
you needed a sucky sweet.
I needed a sucky sweet, and let me tell you, they're not authentic. And they're big on that.
You're saying fisherman's friends aren't authentically from the 17th century?
No.
I've been sucking on a fisherman's friends for weeks.
So I sometimes got a break from doing that. And so my favourite thing to do was pretend to be a ghost. Because if you've ever been to Tamworth Castle, there's a bit where there's a staircase and you can't go up it because that staircase is haunted, right? I think it was on an episode of Most Haunted at one point, but they've got like a photograph that like some ghost hunters took where it looks like there's a shadow of somebody walking down the haunted stairs. And there's like a whole board of like people who work here said they've heard creaking on the stairs. Like, really? It's been here like 900 years and the stairs creak? Oh.
I love the thought. I love the thought that up those stairs is just the staff room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Up so you can stand at the top and the bottom, and the stairs are not that high either. It's a really short staircase, but you have to go all the way around to get up and look down because it's like you can't walk on the haunted stairs. So my favorite thing to do was underneath the haunted stairs there's a little doorway where when the castle's like open normally you can like climb up onto the roof, but they didn't have that open during the events, so I liked to go and like hang out in there and just like hit stuff and like make noises and things. I like to go upstairs and walk around on the floorboards to make them creak, which was great. And then there's another bit. So you walk into Tamworth Castle and you're in like a courtyard. And there's like the Great Hall, the door to the Great Hall's in front of you, and there's like another door over to the right, and also in this right-hand wall is a cell. It's like an old cell, and they have like a sort of, well, I haven't been there for a few years, but at the time they had like a kind of mannequin type guy with a bad wig on, like sort of like hanging on the wall, like, oh no, I'm in prison kind of thing. So I used to go and hide in there and wait because it was like pitch black, and it had a door that was like, you know, metal, like this way, like metal bars, and but I could get in there, so I used to go in and hide in the dark and start sweetly singing folk tunes. So that they would echo through the building.
What I love,
just for shits and giggles.
What I love is the fact that you weren't employed for this role. Like you were employed to play recorder.
Yeah.
And I want to imagine that there were people going, "Where's Hannah? Where's Hannah?" We're about to start.
We desperately need a recorder player.
He's ready to be a ghost in a jail cell again. What a dickhead!
I have a break because my mouth's so dry.
Meanwhile, if you get
like,
and by fortune,
go on, Mike.
By fortune, you actually mean the greatest hits of Laura Marling.
This was before Laura Marling was probably born. I don't know.
All covered in snow.
The thing is, I bet if you go on the internet and Google Tamworth Castle, there's going to be loads of ghost photos.
Yeah,
which are just going to be, when you look carefully at them, you're going to go, is that Batman?
Yeah.
Batman with a recorder?
I also did this same events company did the same event as like Castle by Candlelight at Aston Hall, and
nice.
And there it was even better because we didn't have the music and dancing stuff there, so they were like, oh, just sit by the fire and do some embroidery, and I was like, no, I will not. So I went around there just like finding places where I could walk past a window, but really slow. And obviously I'm really pale. Just really, really slowly in the candlelight where I knew people were coming in the door underneath. I would just be like glide along and then disappear.
Amazing.
I spent my whole time doing that. Yeah.
You're the reason Derek Acorah had a career.
Yeah. I was just feeding the Derek Acorah mania. Yeah. It was great.
Although I think I've said this before on the show. I met this guy called Steve who claimed that one of his jobs was throwing rocks at Yvette Fielding.
Oh, yeah.
See, I just it was a hobby.
Oh, like on the show.
On the show?
For a second was like, who's employed him to follow her around throwing rocks at her?
Someone really can't stand it.
When you think about it, someone, even if Steve's lying, and he could have been, but someone's got to have that job.
Someone's throwing those rocks, Someone's like pushing that rocking chair and then walking in like, oh, the chair's moving.
What I want to happen from this is that somehow she's going to watch this like podcast episode specifically and go, we need to employ her.
You are.
This is Hannah's big break.
Oh my God, that would be such a good job. I would love that job, being like the ghost on Most Haunted.
In fact, Hannah,
I can only imagine as
that's
well.
my dream.
There's like this TripAdvisor like reviews of places you've worked. Going, I don't understand why they don't do ghost walks because there's so much supernatural incidences happening there.
Yeah,
like, and it's not just you.
I just remembered that I also did that in the Guildhall in Leicester as well.
Hannah,
I went round the windows really slowly in my outfit, like.
Hannah,
yes,
you got some stairs behind you.
Yeah.
Why don't you audition? So
If
you go to the top of the stairs, give it a couple of seconds, and then come down
like the Grey Lady. And
come down like the Grey Lady.
Well, I haven't got my whole outfit on.
Sorry,
though.
it's Dudley Castle. It's the Grey Lady, isn't it?
Sorry, Hannah. Sorry, Hannah. I'm sorry, Hannah, that we haven't got the correct costume for this audition, Hannah.
But it's important because the skirt is so long that they can't see your feet, so it looks like you're gliding.
You're thinking of this wrong.
I'm wearing trainers.
You are doing this as an impression of a ghost from 2721.
2721.
700 years' time, is going to be a ghost going around in Heelys, mate. So,
right.
Just sliding gracefully past.
So I'm myself, but I'm a ghost, and you're in the future.
We're in the. So do your ghost walk as you would do, but we're we're from 700 years in the future.
You as a ghost,
right? But I can't.
Me, bitch.
John,
I can't do it on the stairs because my knee is still bad.
Oh.
Well, let's go.
You know what? Hannah, you know what? We'll give someone else the job.
Oh, that's not fair.
Hannah, go past the camera and then in the most ghostly voice you have, just go, "It's Brittany, bitch," and then just keep walking.
Okay.
Because that's what ghosts in 2017 are going to do.
John T, can you get ready to clip this, please?
There's ghosts in wheelchairs, right?
Annie,
there are ghosts in wheelchairs. No, hold on. There are ghosts in wheelchairs, Mike, but there's no ghost wheelchairs. So it's just people floating around, sitting down.
Because the wheelchair hasn't died.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a lovely conversation we're having about something completely irrelevant.
Okay, we're ready, Hannah. We're ready.
Are you ready now?
What about self-advocacy?
I feel like you need to set the camera up slightly because all we're getting is ghostly boobs. There we go. That's the ticket.
Ghostly boobs.
You want my ghost boobs?
I love you and your ghost boobs, but I don't know whether the internet is ready for them.
It's Rule 34. It exists.
I don't even know if it's high up enough so you can.
Who's moving the camera?
Right, so I'm in the bin right now.
You've been to worse auditions.
I actually have, and I've talked about them.
What about the big Hannah?
You what?
I said it's not about the bin.
It's not
about bins.
John T's comment is art.
What does it say?
Why call them boobs if they're not spooky? Boobs.
Boobies.
Boobs.
I really hope someone's working in your building.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking
mate,
at
as a
lorry
t-shirt
driver in
with
the
that on.
eye right now.
Anyway, so did anyone see that outrageous display last night on the football pitch?
I was not aware of that. What happened?
I believe that. Well, they actually genuinely did anyone watch the? Oh,
It was probably slower than that. It would be like just be like this.
You forgot the line. You forgot the line.
I was in the zone. So yeah. The other thing I did was be mean to children, obviously. So sometimes we just had to go and like cover rooms to like so that there was somebody like in the room to sort of make sure that the public aren't stealing the castle or something. And it's
been a constant fear of the residents of Tamworth that some little like, chavvy kid's going to come in and
we need to lock this down. So I was sitting in a room that's like it's like the bedroom upstairs. And it's a room that, as a child visiting Tamworth Castle, I ran from too scared to go in because they used to have there these holograms, and they were terrifying, right, to young Hannah. So it was like, so it's like the bed is there. It's quite a small room. And there's a man lying on the bed, like a mannequin. And it's got like curtains around three sides of the bed, but it's open on this side so you can see in. And you all are like walking in, and then suddenly you hear this voice go, "Lord Marmion." And you're like, what the fuck's that? Right? And it's like, "Lord Marmion, hear me." And it's that exact voice because it haunts my dreams, right? And
by Vincent Price.
"Lord Marmion, hear me." And a face appears in the curtain at the back of the thing, and it's like a hologram, so it's like a 3D face of a nun. And then the mannequin sits up, and its eyes go, and its head goes to look at the nun, right? And I couldn't take that as a child and ran away, and my dad had to run after me. And I was like, oh, because I've always been quite scared of like puppets and mannequins and things like that, like ventriloquist dummies.
I bet Madame Tussauds is your worst nightmare.
Yeah, don't like it. And
the thing is, because it was the 90s, I bet that was accompanied by the sound of huge pneumatic rams going.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it literally sounded like this. And you're like, huh! And then the woman's there like, you must not evict the nuns from the abbey.
Sorry, say that again.
It sounded like a Skrillex concert.
Yeah, basically. But like accompanied by this like, and it's like not a good mannequin. Do you know what I mean? It's like sort of like fiberglass, I suppose, or something, like horrible textured skin that I can't. And then the face of the nun is like too big for a face, and she's like, "You must not evict the nuns from the abbey at Polesworth," and it's horrendous. So
sorry, John, can you clip that?
Sorry. Lord Marmion.
Was it Maggie Smith?
Was it Smith? It was in that vein. It was definitely in the Maggie Smith avenue. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and so I was going into this room being like, this is the room that I have feared since I was like 5 years old. And I'm going to conquer this fear. Now I'm dressed in this whole and I had to just hang out in there. So I sat in this, there's like a big wooden chair in the back corner. And this is all by candlelight. So it's really dark everywhere. And so I just sat there and I thought, I wonder how long I can sit here and make people think that I'm a mannequin. And that's what I did. So I remained completely still. And it turns out I can do it for quite a while. And then this small child, I still feel bad about it. This small child came up to me and was like, hello. And I was like, and
now you've got that thing going on in your head of, if I move now, I'm going to...
It's too weird now. It's gone too far. I've got to keep being still. So,
my nose is itching.
Yeah. And I can't blink. And this poor little child was like, hello? And I was just like, and they were like, they went, I know you're real. And I was just like, a single tear. And they were like, I just wanted to be your friend. And did I talk to that child? No! I remained completely still until they left with their parents.
If that is not a metaphor for your entire online dating experience.
Honestly, I could probably trace back all of my problems. To just being like, I've got to commit to the bit, and it doesn't matter if this child's soul is crushed.
Yeah, that's the saddest story I've ever heard.
Can I just say, that exact thing happened to me in a Primark store once, but except it wasn't a child, it was a grown man. And apparently, basically, all would have happened was I would have just stayed still for quite a time next to him. And obviously moved. This man shits himself after I move. I laugh in his face because it's so funny that he's like, funny. And then I go, did you think I was a mannequin? And he goes, yeah. And then we both just sort of look at each other.
Just be like,
really?
Amazing.
Yeah. And also, I was quite proud of myself that as a man with cerebral palsy, where you are pretty much known for not keeping still. I'm really proud of myself. I was able to keep the guys up.
That is a huge achievement.
Enough to make them think I wasn't actually real.
The thing is, if you hadn't have moved, he'd have gone to the pub that weekend and gone, have you seen the new mannequins in Primark? Like, I'm all for equality, but I wasn't expecting that. And everyone would have been like, you've had too much to drink, you have, Harry. I once was at Warwick Castle, and they've got the Madame Tussauds in Warwick Castle. And me and my mate were in the courtyard looking up at a window, and we went, do I remember that one? And then the woman who was sitting in the window turned round, and we both went, ah! But I do. I fucking hate Madame Tussauds. I do. I've never seen the point.
London Junction's
I've been there once because my friend was working there, so we went in for free just so he could have said that I've been. And I went round and I was like,
it's still your time, isn't it? I've seen no point in. Oh look, I'm standing next to a waxwork Anton deck.
Yeah, I was like, here's me, not standing next to Helen Mirren, and you're like,
and I've stood next to Helen Mirren and smelled her.
I did stand next to Helen Mirren once, and I didn't know she was there until she'd gone.
Did you think you were in Madame Tussauds?
No, it was at the National Theatre.
So I might have told you this before, but so we were in Blackpool, and there's one there. It's that Louis Tussauds. So we went in. My chair couldn't fit in the lift to go upstairs.
Classic.
So they were like, "Well,
having a lift then if it doesn't fit chairs in. That's so annoying.
You can't sort of go any further then." So all I saw was a waxwork of David Jason and Nicholas Linker as Del Boy and Rodney. I mean, as days out go.
Not the worst you ever had.
It weren't as good as that day at Tamworth Castle when you seen Batman playing the recorder. It was a fucking banger, that was. Hannah Platts, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
I like the fact that you said you hadn't got a story.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's enough content in this, and I forgot how much of an arsehole everybody is. They can just keep chiming in. And that's good. I like that.
And you have been clipped saying it's Britney bitch.
Thanks. Yes. Thanks, clippers.
So, finishing off, Mikey Southern, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Whoop, 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 whoop.
So, first of all, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. So, I'm going to take you on a journey that will sort of tell you how the musical Les Miserables completely changed my life and is the sole responsibility of probably why I'm here today. So we're going to...
origin story.
So I'm so it's like September 2005-ish. I'm at school, and as already known, musicals at my school, they were the thing it was famed for, around sort of the local area. Mm-hmm. And we went to town, we did before this we did Grease and the John Oklahoma and Annie, but then other years we did Jesus Christ Superstar and the proper sort of misery musicals. And top one of those, of course, is Les Miserables. And sort of when it was announced, they do everyone gathers around the hall. It's a sort of an audible air of confusion, no one's ever heard of this show because why would you? You're 12. In the context, it's the show, right? And I thought I'm gonna and they were like, anyone that wants to audition for a lead, come to a meeting next week and we'll sort of arrange and stuff. I thought I did Grease the previous year, where those of you who follow the podcast is where I got left on stage.
Yeah.
And
Just...
yeah. So I thought I'm gonna audition. Turns out they sort of gave us maybe a third of what seemed like a good third of the score. So like, Bring Him Home was one. Empty Chairs,
That's
Empty
a tricky
Tables.
song. They're both really hard.
Red and Black was one, and so I was like, so what do you want us to do with all of these songs? He says, well, learn one and then just use the words for the rest. So I took that to mean learn the shit out of one and completely ignore the rest.
That's how it means.
So yeah. I chose Stars, like, because it's the one that's sort of most in my register, and like learnt it, and I was dead looking forward to this audition. Got into the audition, and then the music teacher said, "Which one would you like to start with, Mike?" Now it was in my head to say, "Can we start with Stars, please, Miss?" Because that's the only one I learned. What I actually said was, "Well, Miss, you're not bothered. I'm happy to go with whatever." And she went, "Well, should we start with the Bring Him Home? Because that's the paid one." So I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Let's do that one. I'll probably help to wing it." Now, Dave, I'm aiming this next bit at you because, like, this will be a bit of a lesson. Like, but there are many musical theatre songs in the canon that one could probably wing. Bring Him Home is not one of them.
No.
It's big on the falsetto range.
Okay, so I don't know it. Is anyone willing to give me a snippet?
Nope.
No, the musical phrasing is the make or break of the song. If you don't get the musical phrasing right in the first 3 words,
the second note,
the whole song.
From the second note, you know if it's going to be a good performance or not.
I will send you a link later.
Yeah. As someone who had to sing it, I had to sing it away from a monitor, so didn't know if they were flat or not. I can assure you, it is not a fucking easy song.
And it's right in that like falsetto. It's like it's high.
It's high to do as it's low falsetto but high note. It's that
like for normal
valley of just pain.
Right on the old
within like male singers, you tend like the easiest way to describe it. You have bass, tenor. And then you start to get the more female ranges, which is like low alto. And it hides between the tenor and the low alto. So it's quite low for a woman in places, but it's really high for a bloke. And, like, you've either got to have your hand in your pocket, like tweezering the hell out of you.
And it's also like very dramatic. It's literally like it's a song of saying like, please don't let this guy die. Like, I'd rather die than have this lad die because he loves my daughter, kind of thing. It's really full on emotion. Like, I'll give my life for him. Like,
and you've got to sing it quietly because it's a really close moment.
Everyone else is asleep around you.
It's not a big belter. It's like, oh, great.
It's a really soft, like really emotional moment. Yeah.
It's basically they wrote it and went, how can we make this as physically hard as possible?
Yeah.
For a man to sing.
Yeah.
And is it supposed to be? Is it a male character who sings it? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard females sing it, and it's never been as good.
No.
Okay.
It just needs that, like,
Mikey, you've just driven your wheelchair into a huge hole. How are you getting out?
Yeah. So basically, so we do Stars last. By which time
you kept it in your back pocket.
I am By which time I am basically a shell of the 12-year-old boy I went in as. I came out of the audition. Mom, like, I've really messed it up. It's really embarrassing. I mean, looking back, I was always going to be in the show because, like they don't. You're always going to be in the chorus. But, you know,
there's a lot of good chorus.
Come back to what a joy that was. Like, yeah, like, so like, and so that happened, and then like over summer there was like a load of rumours that we were going to like have to do it in French. I have no idea where it came from, but apparently that was the thing that went around. It got to September and rehearsals had started, and the teacher in charge came to me one day and went, Mike, are you free this afternoon after school? Because I think I've found you a part in Les Mis. If you'd be up for like singing it through auditioning, I'll be like, yeah, sir, that'd be wonderful, great. And so I showed up in this music room after school, and there was the director and the pianist, and like to this day, it's still the weird, like the oddest thing that I've ever been asked. That he looked at me and said, "Now this might be an odd question, but do you know what pimp is like?"
Oh no.
Oh no.
You're playing. Oh no.
Oh no.
And I went,
I'm a
well,
fan of
and in my head, bearing in mind, like this is without doubt the scariest but well-respected teacher in the British educational system, as far as I'm concerned. But because I watched The Bill a lot, like I knew what a pimp was. Like, but then so like you don't want to be too confidently in saying what
you don't. Yep.
Because
I know exactly.
Yeah,
well, that's just weird. Like, yeah. So I think I just went,
get me a cane.
Well,
not that kind of pinch, Dave. Not that kind of pinch.
I just went, well, sir, it's like a lady of the, like a, you know, someone who looks after, like, ladies of the night. Just looked at me,
Scarlet Women.
Yeah, that'll do.
See, now as a teacher, I'd have been filling out the safeguarding concerns straight away.
Yeah.
Because
Scarlet Women.
Your response at 12 should be, "No, sir. Could you please explain it to me?" I'd be going, knows what a pimp is. What are they exposed to at home?
But then,
no, absolutely not.
In. Let me just
get on to social services.
No, basically, we rehearse from September through to March, and for the next 6 months, I am the pimp that has the one line in Lovely Ladies.
Yeah.
So it goes, give me the dirt with that bit over there.
Oh yeah.
A bit of sketch. Got a kid. I might know. There's always some lovely. So I do that, and I basically become known as Mike the Pimp. And in the program, there's a picture of me, and below it just says Michael Southern, Pimp. Now, Mike the Pimp, in the confines of rehearsal, is all good and fine. People are coming up to you in science going, I hope it's Mike the Pimp. Of course he's... Like,
I feel like you're a bit young to be doing Les Mis. Like we did it when I was doing like my...
Yeah.
must have been like 17. Yeah, even in the school's version, the pimp's in it though.
Yeah, the sixth formers did it at our school, but they just sang the musical score. There was no acting.
Right.
Oh, we did the whole thing. Yeah.
Right. So with that in mind, the rest of this story gets wild, right?
Oh God.
Well, so we rehearse, and I should also say that this is in 2006, and as far as I know, we're the only school that's done this. But we had a female, and Jalras,
nice,
leader of the students, was played by and do you know what? It took me years to get used to the fact that Enjolras is like was sung by a male. That always seems a bit off, and it should be sung by like a gas female, because like why wouldn't it? And then
that's the cracking part.
Really is.
So, and then like it gets to production week in March, and this production week was great because the whole school sort of like got involved. Like even basically we had like you could book a pre-show dinner cooked by the BTEC GCSE food tech kids, and then come to us for the show. And like apparently the other block was decorated in like all French apparel, because you know how lame it is. And then like it was
like an event.
Yeah, and like there's one time in rehearsal as well where like it was January time, it's just sort of post Christmas, where things sort of got like a bit sort of like trudgery and a bit sort of like we got sort of down on ourselves. And then sometimes what happens is the leads would get split up from the chorus, and then at the end of rehearsal, like every week, the teacher would bring the leads back in and be like, this is what the leads have done, this is what the chorus have done. Now, this time there was something like the teacher was like, I just want you to hear what the chorus of what the leads have done, and what the pianist started playing this chord on the piano, and instantly, like what began was One Day More, and like none of the chords moved, like everyone just stopped and like listened to this song happen. And it was weird because I'm not a spiritual person at all, but I firmly believe in that drafty school hall on that dark January evening, like something happened. Oh, it sounds really wanky, but it really spurred us on. Like
it's not wanky at all.
We did the show, and it was amazing. Like, there was standing room only in this drafty.
That is a long fucking show for me standing room only for.
Yeah, you could see that like it sold out, man, and and it's brilliant. Everybody loved the show, and usually like a week after or so, you get the post-show blues, and like you move on to sort of what's the next one going to be. But this one never really sort of died down, because like sort of there were sort of rumours going around that it might not be the end of this production. And one day, in sort of summer, there was a meeting. There was a message on the notice board saying, could all the Lamies cast please come to the hall? We're going to talk to you about the cast disco that we hadn't had yet, but we always. And like I thought, this is odd. They'd have said something by now. And we got to the hall, and I was like, well, this clearly isn't about the cast disco, because like
the only DJ they'd have for the cast disco is this motherfucker, and I don't know anything about it. That's what you were thinking, Mike.
Well, no, because I'd firmly hung up the microphone. So I was an actor now.
You've gone up, haven't you?
You've left the DJ decks behind.
Never go back.
No, once you
You do the DJ decks twice in your career. Once on the way up.
Once on the way back.
Once you go act, you never go back. Yeah.
I've heard that.
And then so the director was like, so guys, we've got something to tell you. So it turned out that the chief executive of the Grand Theatre got wind of said production, came to see it, loved it, and then said, well, could we maybe put it on? And it was like, so we're doing Les Mis one more time at the Grand Theatre, like at the place that you've all seen your first ever theatre show. And like the whole hall just erupted. Like there were tears, people hugging each other, like people were screaming. It was mad. So that summer, we came in and did like rehearsals during summer holidays, which is sort of like all the normal people. It's like, what are you doing that for? It's just about the tour. It's like, and bearing in mind, like we, you know what it's like when you do a school show. You make friends, and it's like a proper, like it's a proper team thing. And so we got into this rehearsal for the grand. Basically, everything had to be bigger. So barricades was twice the size. They'd mapped out like the exact dimensions of the thing, and we got to rehearsing Lovely Ladies. And the director said to me, "Now, Mike, the thing about these professional theatres are, so a lot of them are on like a slope because of sight line." Yeah. Adam's clocked it.
Oh no.
Okay. This was, because obviously this was in the days in between the lift at school still not being in use yet, so I was still in my much lighter manual wheelchair. So what had to happen was during the Lovely Ladies scene, you put 2 extra cast members in the number, basically, just to act as like a human crumple zone. Like crumple zone? Like, to stop Mike. We live on stage. And, but also, Mum was talking to me like before it happened, and all the way through rehearsal. You fall off that stage. I'm feeling dead nervous about it, and I just sort of want to chill. So like it gets to show day. We have to arrive at, like, basically everyone's got a day to do the get-in, take it all, do the show, and get out. Like, we've got literally one day to do all that. So
a 1 day get-in for a show that big in a theatre that size.
Yeah.
Can I guess? Was it on a Monday or a Sunday?
No, it was on a Sunday.
Yeah,
it was on a Sunday. Yeah. And like it's mad. Like everything's bigger. I share a dressing room. There's me, Valjean, Javert.
Named characters.
Yes.
Yeah. There's our costume rack. Someone leaves a window open because it was quite warm, and then because obviously it faces onto an alley. Someone outside the theatre, like a member of the public, walks past the costume rack, goes, "Oh, I'll take that for me," and then we sort of have to like fight him off and like, "Don't do that. It's like costume. It's costume."
Oh God!
Like, what is going on? We do the show. So we do the show, and like Hannah was saying earlier, there are some great choral numbers in like this. You can just sing at the top of your voice to, and it's all wonderful. And some like really like there's a book called A Heart Full of Love, which like is sort of mid-second act, which is like peak glum. Like, which wasn't my favourite number. And we had a bench. During that number, we had a bench and a fake lemon tree because like it's France and scenery.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Jean Valjean had a wig, and at a point during A Heartful of Love, Jean Valjean's wig gets stuck inside the pear tree, and Jean Valjean can't move.
Oh my god, he's still on his head as well.
Because it depends, like on which side of the stage, whether you could see it or not. Like, we're all trying not to
laugh,
die on his behalf. Then at another point during Stars, Javert, where the black curtains are supposed to shut for scene change, does not quite come forward far enough for said black curtains. I wasn't there for this bit, but apparently a lot of the audience were like, those curtains are going to end up on his head.
Oh god.
And so Javert somehow, while singing Stars, manages to notice this, like crawl forward through the, on his hook, like a bit like a 17th century Lara Croft, sort of roll forward, but while she's singing, and manages to not get impaled by these curtains, and then after that number, Javert gets like a good 3-minute standing ovation because of just how remarkable it was that he managed to do it. And
because those curtains are weighted at the bottom, aren't they? So if one of
those that's gonna compete. Yeah.
You're talking like really serious injury. And then we get to end of Act 1. Now, end of Act 1 during Les Mis is of course the famed One Day More, and like where everyone just sort of completely goes for it. And the moment during the last crescendo, where everyone starts to do the weird, like, not many things in Les Mis are weird, but the one thing that is quite weird is that sort of little sway they do during one. I don't quite know that. Yeah. It works, but I don't.
One
up
there
there with that.
Yeah.
They're all sort of marching, but
they're like in a kind of V formation.
Yeah, so they do this to make it look like a march.
Yeah.
But
they don't move.
That's sort of like, I feel like it's up there with the little kick they do at the end of Bargain Hunt for sort of. No,
weird.
I've got to watch this.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, and so, like just something like I take myself out at the moment, like I just give myself a couple of seconds and just think, this is fucking brilliant. This is fucking brilliant, and how do I make sure I do this for the rest of my life? And again, it sounds quite wanky and sort of like a bit up myself, but I don't want to sound like it. But from then on in, really, everything else became immaterial, and it didn't really matter much because like that was all I wanted to do. But do you know what? I'm telling this story because it's never lost on me how lucky I am. To basically do the thing I've always wanted to do at 14, but also have that moment of clarity of like, this is the thing I want to do. But like, how many people get that opportunity? And I'm sort of telling it really as protest to like say like we should like people should be allowed to make plays like at school and do the big musicals, which I think maybe I'm right in saying are less common now than they were.
So let me just get this right, Mike. You wanted to work in theatre or be a pimp?
Dave.
Why not?
Stop ruining a nice moment, Dave.
Why not both? And just
why not both?
I've seen Michael's dating profile. It was 100% pimp.
Well,
that's also his cologne.
Yeah.
There's been some great comments in the chat, Mike. Rachel's obviously done Les Mis, and I worry that you were doing this at 12 years old. I don't know the play. I'll be honest.
You'll worry too when you see it.
If you're chorus for Les Mis, you get to be a prostitute at least 3 times.
Yeah.
If you're a female in Les Mis, you're either scrapping at the beginning, scrapping before the end of the first act, or mopping up blood.
Yeah.
I played Madame Thénardier.
Of course you did.
And yeah, of course. Who else could I possibly have played? Because I wanted to be Javert and they wouldn't let me. Bastards.
Javert is the best role.
But
let's not
yeah,
obviously.
But that was very fun because you just get to swan in, do all the best bits, and then not have to put any effort in. Like, you don't have to do any of the chorus things. You just literally swan in and go, oh, 2 of the best songs and everyone loves me. Okay, bye.
but then also,
yeah.
in regards to that, I think, like, imagine like being a lead in Les Mis and being allowed to do You Hear the People Sing, that ABC stuff, like, imagine, like it does, like, not being a lead in that show, for me personally, is the best thing that could have possibly
ever happened. You do get all that, and you get to do like, at the end of the day, you're another day older. I love a bit of that. Yeah, that's like, yeah, I love a bit of that. Yeah.
And just to sort of finish off this story, really, just one last detail. So in 2017, the director of all of the shows, retired, and he was like, I want to do like a gala night of all the songs I've done throughout the time, like, in the show. And basically what happened was, over the course of a day, like, as many of the past cast that could have been, like, there came, and basically, like, we arrived there, like, at 9 a.m. in the morning, and within 15 minutes, I was rehearsing the dance routine to Radio Gaga from We Will Rock You, and it felt like, it felt like I'd never been away, because the age range is from, like, year 8s that done his last show to, like, people in their mid-30s with their family now.
Oh my god!
It felt like when when Gareth Malone does his "Let's Go To," or like let's go and let's go and do behind the scenes thing of this, like, it just really felt like it was a really happy moment, and
nice.
Stuff.
We started with a happy story and we finished with a happy story.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that 2 of the ones in the middle were evil.
Yeah, a friend of mine before lockdown, before COVID was a thing, she was Cosette in Les Mis in London.
Ooh.
So what, apart from Dave, because Dave can't answer this, what is your favourite Les Mis song? Because I would say...
I think it's the...
Go on.
The Building the Barricade Boys one.
Oh, Drink With Me?
No.
The one that's like, it's time for us all to decide who we are.
Yeah,
that one.
The one that's
fighty.
Come not to know the sections are prepared. I've rooted back and straining at the least students, but as everyone, there's a river on the run. Like a flowing of the tide, Paris coming to
Copyright!
Okay. What's yours, Hannah?
I really like Stars.
Yes, that's mine.
Stars is fucking good.
Have you seen
we had like a
anniversary where Norm Lewis sings it?
No. I listened like compulsively to the one with Cole Wilkinson and Philip Quast.
He's very
Yeah.
Norm Lewis sings Stars in the 25th anniversary concert, and if you can get over the fact that Nick Jonas is in it, although he does a very good job.
Yeah. Okay.
His British accent is slightly dodgy.
Yeah.
Even though it's set in France. But Norm Lewis sings Stars, and his voice is just like nothing else matters when he's singing.
Okay,
like,
I'll listen to that.
Norm Lewis is really impressive. I think Norm Lewis really comes into his own during the confrontation.
I love the confrontation, We had like a thing when I did Les Mis. We had like a sort of cast get together after we'd finished, where we all got to play like what roles we actually wanted to play. So I got to be Javert at last, and I was like, "Haha! I'll show you. You should have cast me as Javert, you bastards." Yeah.
I love it.
I feel like that time I was standing at a bus stop and there were like 3 youths standing there talking about drill music.
This is how I feel when you talk about football all the time, David.
But you're Everton manager?
Yes.
I'm managing Everton now. If people weren't here at the beginning, you don't know, but I'm the new Everton manager.
And your pep talk will be at
my pep talk will be, listen here, chaps. Make sure you all kick the ball. But one at a time. Otherwise, it's too confusing and you might hurt each other. And I don't want to have to call your mums and say that you were being brash. That will be my pep talk.
I love
it. What's bad is I can 100% see that.
I'd like to think Hannah would be the manager who would march players out who dived and make them publicly apologise to the crowd.
I thought you said died then.
Oh, no. Like, if they dive, like, blatantly dive and it's embarrassing.
I would not accept that in my team.
I could imagine Hannah, when they're all coming off, she stood in the tunnel going, no, you know what you did. Now get out there and say sorry.
Yeah. I would march them over. I would like take them by the back of their neck and march them over. Yeah. I'd be like, now what do you say? You say, sorry for being over dramatic. Yes.
If you want to do acting, we shall go and watch Hamlet, and that is all.
Yeah. Anyone who dives, I'm like, you know what you have to do, don't you? A soliloquy. Right now. If you want to be an actor, you can be a bloody actor. Come on. That is the what? What is it?
Well,
I had a lecturer at uni who, like, we would do a speech, and if he didn't think that we were committing to each word, he would go, what? And we'd have to do that word again. So you'd be like, to be or what? To be or not to be. What? Not to be. Like, over.
That sounds like a great way of getting trauma.
Yeah.
Also, try to imagine like James Rodriguez trying, who you know, not a native English speaker.
I'd let him do some. No, he could do some like Spanish Golden Age. Like he could recite. You know, I'd let the French ones do Moliere. It would be great.
No one deserves that, not even the French.
Well, they should have thought about that before they started diving.
Because of iambic pentameter, you cannot do Shakespeare in French.
No, you can't.
No.
Love that fact. Shakespeare
of our speech.
It only works in English, and therefore it is super. It works in Welsh. The Welsh translation of Shakespeare works really, really well because it's a lot more sing-songy, so it fits the rhythm better.
Mikey the Pimp, ladies and gentlemen.
I love that so many people have got so many stories about Les Mis. Like, I've just scrolled up the chat a bit. It's like everyone's been in it or directed it, or like.
Apart from me.
Apart from Dave, sorry.
I've not been in it, but I have sung it.
Yeah, that counts. That counts.
Right, I have got to see Hamilton. I still haven't set that up. But yes, okay. I will endeavour.
I'm going to send you some tips, Dave, just to ease you in.
Yeah, I will endeavour to see Les Mis or Hamilton before the end of the weekend.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. We look forward to your thoughts on them.
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Don't get me started on Hamilton because I can't stop once I start rapping.
If you're going to watch Les Mis, I don't know which to suggest, the 25th anniversary concert or the movie.
Right, this isn't a conversation.
Yeah, because if you watch the movie, you're not going to like it. But I really like Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, but he's fine. The rest are fine. It's fine. It is fine.
Do you know what? Do you know what annoys me about the movie? Like, and this is really petty. And Dave will hate me, but I mean,
Sacha Baron Cohen's accent.
Generally, what annoys me is they swap some of the couple
the lines around. Yeah. Yeah, Rach was saying 10th anniversary, and I agree because that's the one that I.
Is that the one that Roger Allam was in?
No, it's Philip Quast.
Roger Allam's the original.
And Michael Ball plays Marius.
Michael Ball.
Alan Armstrong, I think it's the name.
Yeah, Alan Armstrong is great. Yeah.
We're going to send you some links, Dave. Yeah.
Anyway, look, we've gone on really long. It's 10 o'clock, everyone. It's 10 o'clock. Look how dark it is.
Oh, God. Thank you for joining us. God, by God, that's been a fucking drag, hasn't it? That one.
We talk about people's stories, Dave.
Oh, 5 to 10. I don't think we've ever gone on this long before, have we?
No.
Because Mike mentioned Les Mis and we got.
That's it. You went wild.
Your fault, Michael, the pimp.
I'm more than happy. Happy to take all.
We're back this time next week. It's a lock-in, but I can't remember which one this is.
I can't remember.
But I'll let you know when we shut the stream down. I'll let you lot know. I mean, you.
I think it's Taskmaster.
I think it might be, yeah. But we'll sort that next week, 7:30. Follow us on the socials. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for chat. You've been wonderful again. There's been some wonderful.
Thanks, chat.
You're all great. Thank you. And you lot are all great as well.
Thank you.
So.
You're great as well, Dave.
You're fine.
Yeah. So everyone say bye to the stream. Bye.